Hey folks, Mark here. Going through the papers today. I went through 4 of the papers actually, and that is all the reporting on Fukushima, and 3 of these are exactly the same piece of news. Isn't it incredible the way it just drops off the front pages after a few weeks? The big news here is about them trying to stem the flow of irradiated water from the reactors. It says that the workers at the Fukushima plant used a milk white dye today. What date was this? I assume this was today. Seems a bit odd though. But they used a milk white dye to try to trace the path of radioactive water seeping into the sea. So they found a crack and then tried to plug it with sawdust, shredded newspapers, and that gel that they put in nappies that's super absorbent, diapers in kids' nappies. But that failed. After they used 60 kilograms of this kind of mixture, it failed to stem the leak. So here we are 2 weeks on, radioactive water going into the sea here. It's interesting, these articles don't say how much water, how radioactive, you know, what the volumes, how far out into the sea is it going. We start to miss, or not even bother reporting, obviously, key details that are very relevant. And you know, a couple of pieces here that say nuclear problem to last for months. It will last for months. I mean, they've got a major engineering project on the way to try and stem these leaks, get control of the site. This problem is going to last for months indeed. So Fukushima's still going on. Scant news, and I've not really had time to kind of get into, you know, what else is going on in the background, unfortunately. Something else that was in the Times, I think it was, that says milk and mushrooms in the Ukraine are among foods still contaminated, so obviously a lot more, still contaminated by the nuclear disaster at Chernobyl 25 years ago, according to Greenpeace. The Ukraine is asking for £527 million to build a new shell at the plant because the concrete cover has begun leaking. So, you know, nuclear problem to last for months at Fukushima. Nuclear problem's going to last for years. Don't feed us this rubbish. And things are going to be irradiated, you know, contaminated by nuclear waste for, you know, what, 25 years? And this is still going on. So there'll be a couple of sites around the world where this is a huge problem. It's absolutely incredible. Looking over the papers about Libya as well, and it's the reporting of stalemate. You know, this is the idea now that there's a stalemate because you know, the rebels. Sorry about the camera again. Because the rebels can't make you know, decent advances, and Gaddafi won't step down. The British government have turned around and said that Gaddafi's son stepping into power isn't an option. Which is interesting because we weren't after regime change, were we? It was just about getting Gaddafi out and helping people sort out the country. But it clearly is about regime change. So that's good. Incredible, as usual. Troops on the front line will be axed. How fantastic is that? Cuts will not compromise Britain's security, says the head of armed forces. It says defence chiefs are looking to cut 3,600 jobs. Now, apparently this is going to come from the Air Force and the Navy, if I've got this right. That's interesting. I had another article here. But we're going to cut 3,600 jobs. In other news, it says, oh sorry, yes, here we are, 1,600 from the Navy, my apologies, 1,000 from the Army. So the Air Force stands, and it's already been decided that just over 1,000 RAF jobs are going in the autumn. Sorry, I read that. So that's not, okay, that's 3,600, isn't it? Get the maths right. So 3,600 soldiers, sailors and aircrew currently on operations in the front line could be among those sacked. People in the front line could be among those sacked. It's absolutely incredible. What is that about? and none of these cuts will compromise the security of the state. Yeah, because what most of the army is just abroad fighting in places for oil. Fantastic. So that's what's happening in the UK in regards to that as well. There's other questions here, being raised about the Scottish police demanding that Musa Kusa is handed over for questioning about the Lockerbie bombings, and William Hague, the Foreign Secretary in Britain, has said, yeah, that's a good idea. So there was a contingency of Scots police, I think, and prosecutors were meeting the Foreign Office in London today to have a chat with this Musa Kusa. So that's those two things. So that's Fukushima and Libya. The news is getting less and less. It's really kind of telling. And I think what we're building up to here is the fact that Fukushima is trying to go off the radar, or they're trying to put Fukushima off the radar. Yet there's a little snippet about Chernobyl saying, hey, we're still contaminated 25 years on. And Libya, they're getting ready to put ground forces in Libya, aren't they? So I think they're pulling back on the news here. They're declaring a stalemate, and they're just setting the scene now so that the rest of the troops that we understand are already in the area can go in. And this is the little chess game that these world governments play. Great stuff. By the way, in the UK here, we just had a really entertaining thing happen today, or reported today, where 1,400 managers in the National Health Service were fired last Friday, and obviously that cost millions of pounds to dismiss those from the National Health Service. And it said that David Cameron, Prime Minister, has signalled he wants to delay the NHS reform bill that's going through, and so these people might have to be rehired. Great. So that's even more debt and even more cost that we're going to have to suffer. Just incredible. If you're interested, by the way, I'm going to put together a little montage of some video clips and some photographs that I took on my journey to work today, which explores how surveilled I am on my way to work. Basically, there was about 2 minutes when I don't think I was on camera in, an hour and a half journey. Very interesting.